Can you see me? Hey. LS and Killdeer. LS gets the gold star tonight. Killdeer's on the silver. So I wonder who gets the bronze. Hey, Westman's got the bronze. Now we're just looking for a sheriff. And nope. Oh, I thought that was the sheriff. Sheriff didn't show up yet. There he is. The sheriff. Frank Burns is the sheriff. Team Foco. Hey, Michael. Just and Tina and everything. Hey, there's a bunch of folks went through that other live stream tonight. I could not keep up with everybody that was in there. That's the same here. Well, I was able to get warm today. Just yesterday, I couldn't get warm for nothing. Michael, hey, I missed Michael. Miss Docile One. Boski. And I know I'm going to miss somebody, so if I don't say hello, it's nothing personal. Anyhow, who done it? In the process of checking into whether or not I was wrong, because if you think you're wrong, you really need to check into it. Because the last thing you want to do is tell somebody something that ain't right. Because that ain't right. Stupid thing is not that easy to load. Chipper. Got it. The reason grain became so popular in agriculture over legumes and other vegetables is because it's stored so well and it required less babysitting than other food did. Wheat is a grass. Okay. Grass pretty much grows. All you had to do was worry about making sure it was just wheat or just barley or just whatever that you was in your field. And once you got your field clean, got your seeds clean, then you wound up. So all you had to do is make sure you kept the weeds out of it, and then it was time to harvest. That's all you got was were the grains you were after. Wheat pulled out ahead of everything else because the tillage was minimal. All you have to do is break up the top 2 or 3 inches of soil for wheat. And it's super easy to plant. There was a lot of wastage back in the day when they did it because, birds would come and eat the seeds and blah, blah, blah. But then you didn't have to do anything else, like with growing tomatoes and squash and green beans and okra. You don't plant it and then wait for the harvest and get it all in. You gotta harvest daily. You've got to eat what you harvest. Back when grain became popular as a food source, there was no refrigeration. There was no canning. They could eat what they had fresh, or they could dry it and then hope that they got it dry enough and were able to keep the bugs and the mice and whatever out of it. Grain was the easiest to store and one of the easiest there was to grow. I did a lot of rereading on wheat and milo and barley and oats and everything. So, who do we ask? Daniel T. Walter Davis, Daniel Till I Die, Rob Painless. Just hey, did I say hi to you? Shrek is in here. I think that's everybody. And that's something. How many of y'all caught the little article that they're going to bring, or they're trying to bring back recyclable containers? They want to bring back, like, they're no longer put your liquid laundry detergent in disposable plastic bottles. You will get your laundry soap in a metal container, stainless steel metal container. And if you want to get more laundry soap, you have to turn in the old container. That sounds really familiar. Who in here can remember having to turn in your Coke bottle if you wanted another Coke? Or Dr. Pepper or whatever, soda. Or milk. Gosh, a lot of things. Else was it? Oh, beer. There's places been. I am itching all over the place after Sippy got through talking about that stuff. Oh my. I can't stop. It's like I got the cooties now or something. Yeah, I used to walk around. People would throw them on the side of the road. Yep, all the time. And when I worked at the grocery store, that was one of the jobs they delegated out, was the guy who had to work. They called it working the bottles. You had to take the Pepsi products and separate them from the Coca-Cola products and all that stuff. You had to make sure, because all soda cost the same. People used to buy what they wanted to drink. So the United didn't care. You could go up there, and if you wanted a 6-pack of 32-ounce bottles, you could take and get 2 of them Coca-Cola, 2 of them Sprite, and 2 of them Dr. Pepper. They'd ring it up at the front. They didn't care. But when the bottles went back, Coca-Cola had to go to Coca-Cola. I believe the Sprite went with Coca-Cola. 7-Up, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, all went to Pepsi. Something like that, Daniel. I know mine's just winter dry skin or whatever, but it intensifies. I mean, she picked of all the cooties to start talking about. She had to pick like the ones that make my skin crawl. She's good at that. What I miss? What they say? What they say? They said something good. Oh yeah. And you know, unless there was a hole in the bottle, we didn't care. It was up to the Coca-Cola bottling company to decide whether or not the chip wasn't made the bottle no good or not. Cool. What'd you do with it, Steve? Take the punch up. Just turn it into lots of fun. Well, I can deal with worms. Oh, I mean, worms are. Did you know if you eat if you get grapes, the kind with seeds in them, and you'll chew up the seeds, eat the grapes, and go ahead and chew up and swallow the seeds. There's the that's where they get the chemical they give you to deworm you if you got like worms. I mean, I don't think it works on tapeworms, but it works on like the other ones.
Pumpkin seeds are acidic and they get rid of a lot of worms and stuff.
Yeah, pumpkin
They
seeds.
tell you can give them to chickens if they have worms and stuff. And Bug Out Bubba said, "Hey Wes, loved your video on crop production."
Thank you, sir. And that's kind of what I wanted to keep talking about because it's a big deal. There's a lot of new angles to the doomer porn out there over the past month or so. And which means there's going to be a lot more people get interested in prepping and survival and stuff. The thing is, if they watch somebody's podcast and they're like, you need to buy these seeds from this world famous post-apocalypse seed factory place. Okay. These seeds are guaranteed to sprout in the year 2030. And they're, in radioactive proof Kevlar bags and whatever. And, for, $69.99 a month, we'll send you a different bag of seeds every 2 years or whatever. And the people think, okay, I bought this bucket of seeds. I'm going to live forever.
Well, sure, going to Spartan camp? What is that?
We're not going to get to make the 1st of March. That just we can't do it. She has obligations the last week of February. So, and then the opposite direction. And it's work and that's the thing. And yeah, the next one, we're hoping he'll do another one in April. And we can make that one. We're actually planning a road trip for April. When you're trying to figure out what your SHTF crop needs to be, or even honestly, people, your before SHTF, you need to check and see how many calories are you putting into making that food? Are you putting in 4,000 calories? Are you investing 4,000 calories to get 200 or 300 calories back from a tomato? Okay. You're not making out very good. Are you investing what? 10, 15,000 calories in a goat that you're going to get 50 or 60,000 calories from. That pays out. You have to balance how many calories you're throwing at a resource to see if it balances out. That's why agriculture beats out hunter-gatherer hands down. You're walking, hunting, packing. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Hunter-gatherer supplements agriculture. Hunting and gathering makes agriculture more diverse because, hey, we don't have to eat pig again today. Mama got a deer. Or, yay, we don't have to eat chicken today. Sissy done got 3 conies. Isn't that what they call them? Just 8 conies? I'm just saying. I know there's a lot of people, and one person, a very skilled individual in a high game area, can make out eating wild game. And he can stay at it a long time before he starves to death. Matter of fact, a little bit of luck, he makes put on a little weight. If he gets to a place where he can, kind of settle in. But if you're having to move all the time and you're having to, every time you get a kill, you have to make a new drying rack before you can even start smoking it and preserving the meat. It's going to make life hard. Now, I haven't changed my prediction that I made last year either. It's still 2020. I fully expect the balloon to go up sometime in 2020, early 2020 is what we're scheduling for around here. We've got it kicked in high gear. So yeah. It could go as long as 2021, and that'd tickle me to death. But have y'all gone to a big city? And I'm not talking gone to the fancy restaurants or to the nice hotel or to the part that draws everybody into the town. Have you gone to, like, we were in Dallas Fort Worth? We got away from where you go in Dallas Fort Worth to visit people, to shop, to do this, to do that. Dude, it's horrible. It's bad. There's people living on the streets all over the flipping place. Literally, people have little huts and stuff made out of boxes packed full of old trash and stuff, trying to stay warm, living in the streets. And that's just Dallas. And these people are voting for more of the same. They fully believe that socialism, which allows them to live on the street like that, is a good thing. They think that they can vote in enough socialist Democrats to get it turned around to where nobody lives in the street, everybody lives in the projects. Thing about it is, I'm not moving to the projects. I am 100% positive that they are trying to eliminate small town USA. They don't want any towns. Like, I think our little town might be spared. But all the little, when you're driving to, those 40 miles between point A and point B, they don't want anything on that highway between those large areas. They don't want anything out there. They don't want little Podunk, Tennessee, or Whodunit, Texas. They don't want it. They want everybody living inside the cities because that's easier. That's exactly right, West Wind. Or longer. There's no opportunities in the cities. There's really not. If you got that many people they gave up on getting a job. They're not even looking. They're not looking for a place to live either. They're not in California anymore. Why look for a place to live when they've made it legal to live wherever you want? Live however you want. Do whatever you want. Run your heroin right there in the subway. They can't say nothing to you. Yeah, that's where my son had his surgery, Robert. We stopped at, what was that? Omaha military surplus or whatever. Omar's or Omaha's or something like that. They got a big cannon bolted down in front of the building. That guy's overpriced. Lots of cool stuff, though. Not disrespecting his place of business. But he wanted $4 more for a boonie hat than I paid for my last one. Couldn't see doing it. He wanted $189 for a rucksack. But no, that was in Fort Worth. So.
But we found a really good cafe.
We did find a good cafe, which I do not remember the name of.
Okay.
Hold on.
That was in Balk Springs.
Bulk. Baulk.
I don't know. No, it's like BALCH or something.
Hold on, I'm looking. Yeah. Oh. And it was, did I tell y'all this? It was snowing Little Texas, or Little Star Davids Friday. got pictures. Peggy's Country Cafe, Bulk Springs. Yeah, live music on Wednesdays. Wednesdays or Thursdays? Wednesdays. I probably won't be able to see that. I got the wrong thing pulled up. I can't see what the camera can see. Oh, you can see a big blue screen. They got a phone booth out front. That sounds all though. That's right. They got a phone booth. See if I got a decent picture of this here. One of these here snowflakes. Pull this one. They melted fast, but they're not going. They're right. Oh, that's it. That was actually a ball, sleet pellet, but all of them were coming down 6-point stars. That's a very tight close up. That's not the highway. That's felt paper. Building the house. Oh. I'm making a video out of it. Just calm down. It'll be on Patreon soon enough.
I don't have all of that. Robert said everything's still okay. His body was rejecting the screws. So they had to remove the plates and screws and on that.
Okay. For those of you who have been keeping up and missed the update, Leland was not actually a brain surgery this time. It was a head surgery where they had gone into his, which side they cut open? This side? Yes, this side. They cut him from here. Yeah, they went like this, came up, back to here, got this big horse mule shoe, and they laid it open. Then they drilled a hole in his skull. Then they pulled that piece of bone out, went in there with a little ice cream scoop, and took out all the tumor that they could without costing him his ability to talk and see. Then they put that little bone plate, is that what they call that? Bone cap? Whatever, the bone that they took out, they put back in. Then they put a titanium steel plate over it. Yeah, I think they put a screw in the bone in the middle, and then put like 4 screws on the 4 corners to hold the bone in place while the bone growed back, the skull growed back together. Y'all following me on this? Anyway, the screws kept backing out. As his body was healing itself, it would actually unscrew the screws. It happens. Some people, their bodies do that. Anyway, long story short, they went in there. They had to do, last time they went in, this is the second time they've had to go in to work on the plate. And anyway, last time they basically just made a little cut and tightened the screws up. This time they went in, took it back, took the plate off, checked. It had healed up a lot. So they just put some bone putty in the places that weren't healing as fast as they would have liked them to. Basically, they filled in the holes, put some Bondo in there, and they put some little tiny plates just to make sure it couldn't shift or whatever. And I think they like riveted those in. Not real sure. I wasn't there. I wasn't part of the process. Didn't ask me. And kind of like plated them in place or whatever, and put the flab of skin back on. Put 37 staples in. He's doing fine. He's up, moving around. He does not get to go back to work.
Well, the note says indefinite.
Yeah, the doctor has removed him from work indefinitely. They're trying to figure out what's going on. It's the tumor hasn't grown or anything, but he's had a few seizures. And he's having difficulty with his seeing. He's having some eyesight trouble. And he is losing strength on, is it the left side or right side? Left side. Left side of his body. And he figured out exactly what's going on there. So, right. That's my boy. Cancer sucks. But yeah, we'll be back in Dallas. We like Dallas. Dallas is the bestest place ever in the whole wide world.
Rob said, heck, Wes, they could have done that for him and saved our trip to Dallas. Telling you, offered the doctor.
Yeah, Rob, I was talking to the doc, and you're just going in there to take the screws out and pop the plate off, right? And she's like, basically, I said, well, what do I need? A screwdriver and a sharp knife? And she goes, well, you might need a hammer too. That's why I got one of those. She goes, well, you could probably handle it. And Lee pops off. He doesn't have any anesthesia. And she goes, bourbon. You could use bourbon. You could go old school on it. And she acted like she was putting down the stuff where she was writing down what he needed or whatever. Which it was like, they type it in there or whatever. But he kind of looked at Lee, and he's like, no, I believe since we went in and drove up here, I'll go ahead and let you handle it. He said, oh, okay. I like that doctor. She's funny. They still say that he'll live to a ripe old age. So. But anyway, keep praying. And I couldn't be far off mark, Rob, because the doctor was backing me up on it. Even the part where I told him I had some bourbon. So, told him I'd even wash the knife first. He had a problem with where my screwdriver had been, though. Hey, if you can't make the guy laugh right before you cut into his scalp, you got no business being a doctor.
Well, just like the other day when they were at Mama's birthday party, when they were giving him grief about dipping snuff or whatever, he's like, what's wrong with dipping snuff? And they're like, well, you could get cancer or something. He's like, I already got cancer in my brain. What's wrong with dipping?
Well, too late. Yeah.
And they're like, oh my gosh. He's like, what? If I can't laugh?
Can't laugh. Why be there? When the doctor tells you got brain cancer, you're going to have brain cancer from now on. What are you going to do about it? He did get lucky on the mutation, though. It's a really slow growing one. And It's treatable. When they took the tumor out, they knew that it had to be one of two cancers. One cancer, if you have it, they can treat you and they can gain you another 50, 60 years of life. And then the other one, you need to start making arrangements. And he got the one where he got, with treatment, he's going to have to keep up his insurance his whole life. But he'll get to live to be an old dude. He'll get to watch his grandkids be born and get out of school and stuff. Exactly. I mean, I could do this. I just need to give me a better shingle. Doc West. No insurance. We will not file your insurance claim for you. This is cash, or this is a pay as you go. This is a POGO. Pay as you go. Yeah, potential legal matter. No surgery too small. No big surgeries guaranteed. Well, the surgeries are guaranteed. Patient's reaction to said procedure, not so much. Say, you're born dying. Yes, sir. But hey, Lee himself, he saw me pouting when he was like, Dad, you do realize that this means you and me have to go fishing a lot, right? Hell yeah. Maybe we'll stumble across another porcupine and actually have some way to cook it with us this time, besides lake water. That was nasty. It actually didn't, it was palatable. You could eat it. It's not something I'd put on the menu. It tasted like we'd cooked the porcupine and the catfish in the same water. Yeah, your post-surgical mileage may vary. That's funny. I couldn't do that doctor stuff. When it come time to put a saw into a bone or something, start going to town on, sawing up a dead animal, that's one thing, but sawing a bone on a living critter, I don't know, man. I don't think I could do it. Not even with fire tool, I don't think I could. If it was like take his awls out of somebody's leg or watch him die, maybe, but maybe. But that's that whole fingernail on the chalkboard thing. Oh, yeah, I'd have a hard time pushing through it. Was he able to download it? C103? Did you get the upgrades? And if you didn't, you better make sure that check and see if they charged you for them. They probably charged you for them, just forgot to activate it or whatever. They just didn't use the passcodes. Okay. Do not hate me. I like B movies, okay? What was the movie with I think it was Patrick Swayze and a bunch of other guys. And anyway, everybody's addiction was to computer programs they could stick in their brain. Everybody had chips and stuff, and they were running around killing each other just so they could steal the chips out of there and put it in their head or whatever. And they were trying to escape Swayze, and they were trying to get somewhere or whatever. What was the name of that? That movie. It was an 80s movie. It was a horrible movie. Ooh, I already said that we made the unleavened bread with wheat berries that have been stored for 7 years and came out fine. What's the name of that movie? Wired, maybe? We've been like playing around with the foods we've been prepping to see if we were going to be able to survive on it. We had cornbread made out of deer corn today. It was actually quite good. Yes, Rob. You want to see the flour? I just ground up enough to play with it today. That's cornmeal. Cornmeal from deer corn. You know, that $6 for 40 pounds corn. That's 1 pint of deer corn. And I made cornbread out of it already. It's fine. It tastes like cornbread. And then this is you can't really see that, can you? I'm gonna focus it. It's really brown, but that's flour. It's wheat. That's wheat. I need a better whatchamacallit. Oh.
The English one.
The English side. Oh, no, he can't speak Spanish. Here you go. This is for Robert. It's Molina para granos. Tradicional. Traditional cornmeal. Para de whatever. Put corn. Turny the handle. Little gear pushes corn into this little thing. Which I put this thing. This is the one we got red. So black thing right here. I'll put it on upside down. Don't put it on upside down. The corn doesn't fall or the flour doesn't fall out. I'm just saying. Don't judge me. But there's no pictures inside. Okay? So I had to look at the box to figure out what I did wrong. Anyway. And then it comes out. It goes in corn. It goes in corn. It comes out flour. This is actually a cornmeal. It's not supposed to grind the flour, the wheat, but it did. So there.
I bought it because it says that it does wheat, corn, oats.
Yeah, and if I'd have run the wheat through there, again, it'd been fine. And it was actually fine. I mean, it tasted like wheat thins, honestly. It was good.
Don't need one.
Maybe. I don't know. It might be. But 5 minutes by hand, I ground enough corn to make enough cornbread for my whole family. That's not bad. Hey, Mike. For $50. And you can actually buy a thing that goes on there that allows you to hook an electric motor to it and make it an electric grinder if you so desire. I was looking at it and I could probably hook I have a multi-speed drill. And quite honestly, I could probably rig a deal to where I could run it off of my drill. And yes, now I'm going to. Yes, it does. And we got the grinder, we got the wheat, and the corn. And so we've been storing the corn because we've been playing around with eating. What can you do with deer corn, or regular whole kernel corn from the feed store? What can you do with it? You can soak it for a couple of days on the counter, drain the water off of it, put it in the oven, and roast it, and you got corn nuts. And they're flipping good. We have been practicing eating our SHTF food. It's fun. And we're learning to cook it. I took 1 cup of the flour of this coarse ground wheat flour and a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of cooking oil. Mixed it together and then put enough warm water in it to make it stick together, and then rolled it out to a 1/4 of an inch thick, put it in the oven, and baked it for 25 minutes. And it's flipping delicious. I wasn't going to eat the whole thing, but I did. And see, I'm thinking about, we've got some, I'm thinking I'm going to try to plant popcorn. I'm going to take the popcorn out of the popcorn bag. I'm going to plant the popcorn and see if it'll come up. Because that's all popcorn is flint corn. Let's see. I'll try. Might just work. It just might. I know that the like the purple and the white and stuff like that, it really doesn't taste good. Take it out of the garden and try to make corn on the cob out of it, and it's bland as all get out. It's it's edible, but it's nothing like sweet corn. But I mean, the two choices: you can have cake or you can have food. You know, not eating because you can't have cake is silly. Or eating one piece of cake and starving the rest of the week instead of eating cornbread every day of the week and not having cake. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. Good night, Daniel. Hello, the music whale. I don't. They raised the thing at Sam's. My brother don't have a Sam's card anymore, so I don't go there. We grew the native corns. Who knows, kid? That's and it produces really well. It just you get. I mean, it's designed to make cornmeal. That's all. It's not corn on the cob. It's not something you barbecue on Friday. You know, you don't grill the corn on the cob with that stuff. It's dry and gritty off the cob. Sorry, it is. Oh, that cafe in Balk Springs. The cornbread, man. Doug, I ate 3 pieces of it. They come over and asked me for it dessert. I said, "No, I ate your cornbread." That was cake, man. All it needed was icing. Actually, it didn't need the icing. There's more sugar in that cornbread than there was corn. Deer corn is not washed. Yeah, the native corn makes great cornmeal. That's what it's for. Native corn will also pop. Nearly none. They do dry wash. It's called dry washing or dry cleaning. The corn that that's for feeding your domestic livestock. So it doesn't have the powder and stuff on it. They run it through a series of brushes and dust it off. And the stuff that they're going to make your cornmeal out of, they actually do a wet wash on it after they dry wash it. Then they wet wash it, then they run it through an air dryer, and then they do all this other crap to make cornmeal out of. Or you can just eat it, whatever. Oh, did they turn red, Robert? Is that light still kicking it? Does that thing still look like a Christmas tree, or did it bush out any? I put sugar in mine. My wife thinks it's borderline sinful, but I really don't care. Bob used to put cream corn in the cornbread sometimes.
Like, what is it? Cornbread or whatever it's called. Got the
jalapenos and chitlins and stuff in it. Oh yeah, the jalapenos and the they put the sweet they put the king corn in it. That's it. Mom didn't ever put jalapenos in nothing. No. All right, Rob. We'll check you later. Maybe here. I don't know. Didn't get on as early as I usually do. Sipping him talking about body lice and stuff. And I don't know. My mom was born in DeKalb County, Alabama, or Georgia. Was it Georgia or Alabama? Night C103. Have a good night. Be safe. Still waiting on your email. You got me all curious and stuff. Anyway, she lived there since she was 18, and then she moved to Louisiana, and that's where she learned to cook, in those two places. And my mama put sugar in the cornbread. I'm just saying. Those imaginary lines over there drawn on the map. People one side of the line in Georgia don't do things the same way they do in Alabama. Just I don't know why. That's where they is. Grits can be eaten. I will never say grits are good.
They used to sell grits.
But grits can be eaten. The newspaper, yeah.
That's the only kind of grits I've ever messed with.
I can eat them. Put some butter on them and just eat them. What? What's spag bog? Just a big cultural gap on spag bog, dude. All right, good night, Killdeer. Oh, if you go fishing again, throw a line for me. Grits are an acquired taste, for which I have not managed to acquire yet. The number next is I'm going to turn the grinder out so it doesn't grind them as fine, or grind it up as fine. And I'm going to see about making some wheat gruel. Good night, Frank. Thank you, Killer. Blessings to you too, Frank. Pigeon Forge is in Tennessee. Y'all don't eat oatmeal. See, we're oatmeal fans here. I'll eat oatmeal every day unless my wife cooks it, and then I ain't eating that crap.
I ain't eating that crap.
I don't know why you can't cook oatmeal. You boil bean water, but you put the oatmeal in it ruins the water. Spaghetti bologna. Bologna. Oh. United says that, wow, everybody's running off. And see, I guess that's the difference. See, grits are actually ground hominy, unless I'm mistaken. And gruel, you crack instead of rolling your oats or rolling your wheat, you crack it and you boil it and you eat it. That's gruel. Yeah, hominy sucks. I used to love hominy, and then I told my first ex-wife I liked hominy, and dude, she was putting hominy in the eggs. And I just, I lost it. I ate so much hominy, I don't care to ever eat it again. Oh man, we gotta get you a moon pie, man. Somebody send just ate a moon pie. Send him a whole box of them, man, because you know he's gonna like them. People don't like moon pie, they're communists. Just because they don't like marshmallow. No, just say yes to moon pies.
Wonder if you can order a box that's like a mixture of the garbage, like
I don't know.
chocolate with the banana.
LS, are you busting on moon pies? Now you trying to start a fight with me. Moon pies are good. Moon pie is way better than daggone Twinkie. Yeah, RC Cola is pretty good too, honestly.
Ew. It tastes like a flat cookie.
You should check the date on the moon pie, LS. If it says best by, October 1988, I wouldn't eat it. It's not going to go bad, but the marshmallow filling is going to be a little gummy. Yeah, was that Ben Out of Shape? Ben Out of Shape did the fire starter Twinkie video. That was pretty cool. I don't like Twinkies, but Zingers, vanilla, chocolate, coconut, I don't care. I ate me some Zingers. Them is so good. But I don't like those big pink marshmallow, coconut covered marshmallow cookie things. I don't like those. Ooh. Well, you cook with a programmable barbecue pit, Ellis. You don't know nothing. No, I like moon pies. She doesn't like moon pies. We don't keep moon pies in the house. I don't have to worry about sharing my moon pies unless my daughter's here. Yeah, that's your moon. How about those? Why are we talking about cookies and marshmallow cream stuff and everything else? The pinwheel cookies. Do you like the pinwheel cookies? The dark graham cracker with the marshmallow and then dipped in chocolate. Do you like those? Do you like those, Ellis? Huh? Do you like those? And I think that might be the other name for them is Swiss rolls. Swiss rolls, pinwheels. Um, they used to sell a cookie. They pulled it off. You can't get it anymore. It was whatever those little wafer cookies are. They used that. They dipped it in caramel, and then they put peanuts, and then they put chocolate, and then they put peanuts, and then they drizzle caramel over that, and then they drizzle chocolate over the top of some more peanuts. Those are the best damn cookies ever. They weren't really a cookie, okay? They were like a chocolate bar, chocolate caramel peanut thing with enough cookie in it to hold it up so you could eat it. Those are so good. Ow. See, I don't like ding dongs. The chocolate ones, I don't know. The chocolate don't taste right. Cupcake ain't right. I don't know what it is. But I like the vanilla ones. Vanilla ones are okay. Oh, the chocolate ones. Those are something, man. You can open the package, throw it up on your dash, and they're still moist 3 or 4 days later. So yeah, ding dongs scare me so. Yep. She doesn't like Twinkies and stuff like that, but zebra cakes are those little strawberry rolls or whatever.
No, strawberry rolls.
Or the banana rolls. The rolled up cookie with the cream. You buy those? Then why do you buy them?
I don't.
Who buys them? Because I'm always stealing them.
Your daughter.
Oops. You want some barbecue potato chips?
No, I hate barbecue potato chips.
I like barbecue potato chips. Okay. My wife knew I like barbecue potato chips. She was always buying barbecue potato chips at the store. Okay. And there was always barbecue potato chips in the house. So I, being an attentive and whatever husband, I was paying attention. My wife is always buying barbecue potato chips. My wife must like barbecue potato chips. So whenever we were going to like meet for lunch or something and I would get us a picnic lunch, I would get, feel like an ass about this, but I would get barbecue potato chips. And she would hardly ever eat any. She would just eat like a few potato chips, but she would never eat any. I was like, why doesn't she eat the potatoes? So finally we sat down and we talked to each other. We used words to communicate. And she hates barbecue potato chips. She was getting the barbecue potato chips because she knew I liked the barbecue potato chips. And then I was getting them because I thought she liked barbecue potato chips. And come to find out that, it's okay to buy sour cream and onion or just regular plain potato chips every once in a while. We like those pretty good too. So, yeah, potato chip situation is better.
I like Cheeto Puffs.
You like Cheeto Puffs and Funyuns.
Yep.
That's quick way to the wife's heart, Funyuns. Just in case anybody wants to buy her any potato chips right now. This has been an educational stream right here. Oh, Nutter Butter bars. Yeah, those don't last long. I hate it when I chip my kettle. And you know what's funny, Westman? The store brand barbecue chips. Like here we have Top Shelf or something like that. I can't remember what it's called at the store, but they're way better than like the Lay's barbecue potato chips. Yeah, Essentials or something like that. They're better than the name brand barbecue chips. Now their corn chips are nasty. Don't eat their Doritos. The Essentials Doritos. Well, they're not Doritos. They're nacho cheese tortilla chips. Yeah, they ain't my cheese. They're edible. They're just like not. Do not eat flaming hot Cheetos. The stuff they put on there to make them hot and zap you with flavor will cause bleeding in your digestive system. Let's see, Dove dark chocolate. Isn't that what you use to add sugar to so you can make chocolate? I like semi-sweet chocolate chips. Like a lot. What's peanut butter cake? See, some of the salt and vinegar chips are pretty good, Mother in the Wild. Hello. But not all of them. Not some of them are pretty rough. I like the dill pickles. The dill pickle chips. Those are new. OKLS. What or what?
Daughter is obsessed with talkies.
What are those, Mike Gilbert? What? I never had no peanut butter cake.
I've never even heard of.
I never heard of peanut butter cake. I don't know what that is. I've had peanut butter fudge. That's pretty good.
Takis are super spicy real chips like Cheetos.
I don't know if they got the same stuff on them as the Flaming Hot Cheetos or whatever. Don't eat them. Seriously, they're killing people. Mexican rolled chips. I don't know. Do those come across the fence?
I guess that's a southern chip or something, because I've never even heard of Takis, and I've never heard of pie or cakes and stuff.
How do you ice a cake with peanut butter?
I don't have to go over that. Everyone knows.
Oh, it comes under the wall.
Never heard of it.
Huh. Hey, Palmetto.
We can go back to talking about itchy stuff.
Yeah, we can switch back over to scabies and body loss and stuff. That was a topic right there. Who likes, well, that's still food. I was going to say, who likes fried green tomatoes? I actually like to do the thing where you take the green tomatoes, the zucchini, and the eggplant and batter them, but don't leave them in discs. Cut them up into fourths like little tortilla chips. Batter it and fry it and put it all in the same bowl. And people don't know what they're getting, a tomato, eggplant, or squash. Just throw them off. Everybody's reaching in the bowl trying to figure out what they're getting. That's funny. That's funny right there. Okay. So you peanut butter icing. I don't know how to say. Is it icing or icing? I give it. Yeah, my little girl's the same way. She don't want tomatoes on anything, but she eats spaghetti and salsa and all that stuff, but she doesn't want fresh tomatoes. Chris. All right, Shrek, have a good night. Stay alive. Not that. Nothing like that.
I like fried green potatoes.
Yep. Oh, really? I literally, I'll pick up a tomato and
see, and if it's
I eat it like
a juicy tomato, if it's one of like the aromas,
yeah.
she can Kirsten will actually kind of eat aroma.
Yeah, she'll eat aroma.
But if it's a juicy inside one, she will not eat it. And I think those are the best ones.
Yeah, see, I want it to bite it. I want it to run down my chin, get on my beard and everything. And she wants the meaty one. She doesn't like the seeds with the juice or whatever. She doesn't like the seed jelly. and I do. Yeah, I've never done the okra and the yellow squash together. Is it acorn squash? Is that what it's called? The squash that looks like a little flying saucer. You can draw a little green mint on it. Until your mom gets mad at you for it. But anyway, those are really good fried. My mom used to, talking about my mom a lot, but she used to slice them up about a quarter of an inch thick. And she would put them in milk, get them wet in milk, and then put flour on them and start frying them, and then take them out and put more flour, put them back in the flour with the grease or whatever, and let those set and cool. And after she got all of them breaded like that, then she would fry them. And she would serve them for breakfast, like instead of pancakes or instead of French toast, we'd eat squash. I think she was tricking us into eating healthy, but they sure were good. Hey, Rob's back and he smells better. Cauliflower's great, the cauliflower style. I like cauliflower all right. I like broccoli a lot until you steam it and put cheese on it, and then that ruins it. Now I don't understand that because I love cauliflower. I mean, broccoli. Well, right up until the time you steam it or boil it. I can eat it fried. I can eat it raw. And I can eat it steamed. But if you steam it and then put cheese on it, no. And the ladies in this house, I always want to ruin the freaking broccoli by boiling it or steaming it and then putting cheese all over it. Just put my broccoli on the plate and give me a slice of cheese. I'm mixing it in my tummy. Yeah, squash. Adding squash to the home fries is good. I've never had deep fried cauliflower. Is that good, Justin? Now I like cauliflower mashed potatoes. Those are good. Well, I guess that wouldn't be mashed potatoes. Mashed cauliflower is delicious. Swiss chard's like a green, right? What a minute. Spell menus. Oh wow, I ate spinach raw, cooked or any which way. And carrots are delicious raw. They're palatable. I can eat them cooked. Whatever the lady up there at Sweetwater does to those carrots, so I can eat them any day of the week. Hey, Brian. We're good. How you doing? Yeah, Palmetto. I don't know. There's actually people that put vinegar on their ham when they're cooking it. Why did you do that? Apple cider vinegar and apple. What?
And apple juice.
And
Ew. I like apple juice though.
Why would you put apple cider vinegar and apple juice? Well, this was actually about growing. The podcast started off with, what are you doing? You know, is the food you're trying to grow worth the effort for your caloric return? And here we are. We've talked about moon pies and zebra cakes and yeah, now we're exchanging recipes. Except for vinegar is not a food. Vinegar is for cleaning your windshield. Too much vinegar in your body will break down your muscle tissue too. If you are going to ingest vinegar, you do so in moderation. Vinegar is mostly acid. Les, are you one of those people that puts vinegar on their ham or on their pork roast? Are you? Are you? And see, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not pure vinegar in the apple pickle juice. A lot of people think it is. It's not. Sure, you ain't never cooked a pork roast before you figured that other stuff out. I ain't gonna lie. I still can't. I'm not convicted about eating clean, and I'm looking hard into it. So I honestly think it'd probably be good for me, but
I'll stab you.
it might not be that good for me.
It'll be very unhealthy for you.
I don't know if that goat bacon thing works out. I might be getting rich. Be investing in goat bellies. Well, yeah, there's different pickled okra, pickles. Can you pickle cauliflower?
I'm sure you could.
What do you reckon it tastes like? Don't say pickled cauliflower.
Well,
I know pickles.
cauliflower doesn't have that much flavor, so don't know that it would be that good.
I like pickled asparagus. I didn't like the pickled peanuts. I tried that one time. I'm never doing that again. Peanuts just aren't supposed to be like that. Cauliflower and pickle cauliflower and broccoli are good. See, I've wondered if you could, because I know you can can carrots, and I don't know if things last as long pickled as they do canned, but and probably not because of the acids in the vinegar and stuff breaking down the food over a long period of time. So the food value in the pickled stuff may actually drop off faster than in regular canned stuff. I don't know. But flavor wise, if it's something, and the other end of it, if you're like, here we go with the effort versus return. I mean, to pickle something, you have to go through the process of making the vinegar. So you've got all the effort involved in ruining perfectly good wine to make vinegar. And cloves, something that you put on like food.
What you use clove for? I've never bought clove in my life.
Oh wait, are cloves those little look like rose hips or whatever? Yeah, at the store, LS. But if all you know how to do is stuff you can get from the store and the store disappears, then you have to figure out how to make the stuff you were buying at the store. You have to come up with the apples to milk for the juice so you can turn perfect good apple juice into apple cider or apple vinegar cider, apple cider vinegar, whatever. Vinegar isn't something that there's not a vinegar tree out. They don't go out there and milk an apple tree to make vinegar, apple vinegar cider, apple cider vinegar. It comes from the same place apple juice does.
Ham, you can put pineapples and cherries on ham if you want, and then you can just throw the cherries away after they're cooked.
Okay. Well, you could do that, but as long as you don't have to store enough to, to have to build another shed or whatever. How long was vinegar have a shelf life? I don't know. He said we use it for cleaning the coffee pot.
I use it as a fabric softener on the towels and use it to clean the coffee pot, and Shane uses it to wash the cement off the car. And other than that, it's for pickles.
I mean, yeah, got it. Yeah, but to make the vinegar, you have to have the product you would ordinarily make wine with. So you're actually taking food and processing it down into something that has no caloric value that you can only partake of in small doses. And using it to preserve your food. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that vinegar, that pickles and stuff like that aren't cool. I'm not saying that pickling stuff is not cool. I'm saying that for SHTF situation in Tiawaki, you're going to have to trade somebody for vinegar, or you're going to have to make your own vinegar. I mean, it's not going to be on the shelf. Oh, hold on a minute. I just remembered somebody quit smoking. Missed it. Are learning which weeds growing around your house are medicinal. I have some pain meds, some anti-inflammatory, and some antibiotical stuff growing around my house. Westwind just wants to grow herb.
Anyone else know about 10 explosions going on?
No. Dad on YouTube didn't say nothing about it either. Was it Wednesday or Thursday that old boy got shot here? Honey. No. Oh. Delaware Patriot. Oh, the Delaware. Hello.
Hell instead of hello.
Hold on, let me check that thing. See what. Not seeing anything about an explosion in Venezuela. Doesn't mean anything. Let me search it. Nope, nothing news about Venezuela getting hit with anything. They did switch all their money to Mr. Who, What, When, Where? Oh, I don't like that guy. I used to be subscribed to him. I quit. I'm not even very good at it, and I was debunking a bunch of his,
Saying it's unconfirmed that there's the fires.
They have riots and stuff going on down there, but I hadn't seen anything in the news or anything in the fringe news to back that up. LS, there's a few people saying, well, I have a source that his wife slept with a guy that used to be in the office of such and such, and he said that it's possible that it could, there's that stuff, but there's no there's nothing coming from any of the sources directly involved in any of the negotiations as to whether or not Pelosi is going to cave. Now, I believe they're trying to counter with 1.7 as opposed to the 5.7, and just for what the Border Patrol says they need at a minimum. That does not include the wall. See, everybody, the 5.7's not. I mean, that's not just for the wall. That's for the entire border security thing. It's not 5.7 for the wall. It's 5.7 to rework border security. That includes new monitors, new equipment, more employees, the whole 9 yards. They're wanting to give him enough for about half of the people he needs, but without being able to build the holding facilities for these people, it won't do any good. And without rewriting the laws to eliminate the loophole, which allows anybody and their pet cat to claim asylum and then be released into the country, it doesn't do any good. I didn't search the Atlanta thing.
The only thing I see on Venezuela right now is Venezuela says it found weapons on a flight. Air cargo firm client denies shipment. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying that I can't find anything now.
There were apparently some electrical issues or something. Not Rob. I don't know. Nobody said anything when Obama did it left and right. So yeah. And it's the eminent domain is something that the government does all the time. It's not Trump doing anything different. He's giving these people the option to lease or sell the land. If they refuse to lease or sell the land at a reasonable market value, then if it's national security or health and safety, they can take it. They don't go to eminent domain first. They only use eminent domain against people who refuse to sell, thereby endangering their neighbors or their fellow citizens. Now, granted, the railroad used it corruptly a lot. Railroads, they used it a lot when they shouldn't have been able to use it, but they did anyway. Night, Boski. Yeah, I mean that happened, but that was just it could have been anything, but we'll never know on stuff like that. And I don't think we need drones patrolling the border, because the only way a drone can stop people from doing something is by killing them. I agree. Now, those people, those 6 Guatemalans that got off the top of the wall, they should have left them there, and they should have called the Mexican government and said, hey, y'all got people on the wall. Y'all need to come get them down. We should not have taken them off the wall and brought them into this country. We should have left them up there. I know they were freezing and everything, but Mexico could have got there and got them down just as fast as we did. Now they're going to be climbing up on the wall and camping out and kicking the ladder down on the back side and just waiting for the fire department to come get them down. What Mrs. S said. Fully automatic paintball guns would be a strong deterrent. Those puppies hurt. What's the official story? Yeah, that's.
We never get told what really goes on.
Yeah, we don't ever get, we never found out that they were, that they shut all those guys down that were trying to blow up the transformers all over the country. I mean, that we didn't ever find out anything about that. These terrorists must be some really stupid people. I mean, they can't pull anything off without getting caught. No, doesn't have to be anything extreme like that. How many of y'all been shot with a paintball? And those guns, the paintball guns are turned down that you play with. Those things are kept under 300 foot per second. Put it up to about 375, and you're going to break fingers and knock out teeth. Yeah, it said something about severing a line. There was something that was cut that caused the backfeed and caused transformers to blow up. I was reading a couple little quick articles in the background. Yep. A lot of the guys that were showing up to the the paintball games and stuff had turned their paintball guns up to over 300, and that's why the insurance companies. That's why there's not very many paintball fields left anymore, because of the injuries that were happening in the games, because people were getting shot. I've had my hand broke by a paintball. The guys run that screw. Yeah, there's an adjustment screw that allows you to dyno your gun, And all the guns are supposed to be dynoed before the competition. And then they actually put the paint on the screw. And after the competition is over, if the paint is broken, then you're disqualified. But, you know, the guys turn it in and then put their own paint on it. Yeah. Yeah, because you want to be able to shoot a little bit faster. And the thing is, whenever you do that, one thing I can say honestly is I was never that guy. I never cheated at paintball. And if you turn your gun up on the field, that's cheating. Everybody's supposed to be crawling out at the same. You know, it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be who throws the most money at their gun or who knows the most about their gun. It's supposed to be who has the best team play and skill. And you know, you can flatline your paintball 20 more feet than the other guy. That gives you an advantage. The only problem is if they're closer to you than that extra 20 feet, you can bust a rib. Yeah, because paintball is a close-in game. You're not sniping. That's the excuse that was often spewed. I always played at safe pressures. And I knocked people out of the game all the time. I was pretty good average. You know, 2 people would have to spawn for every time I had to. Yeah. And if you're, you know, when you get to a certain point, when you're, you know, every 4th paintball is exploding in your rifle barrel or your paintball gun, you've got the pressure too high. I actually designed a gas delivery system that would allow you to crank your pressure up because it delivered the air instead of going right into the center of the paintball. It delivered an even cushion to the backside of the ball and pushed it forward. It actually pulled the ball forward and then pushed it. It didn't hit it in the butt and make it pop. But I never tried to sell it because it occurred to me that would make it possible to, you know, to push the 450, 500 foot per second with a paintball, and that's deadly. So. I think I still got a Tipman back there. Matter of fact, they got 2 of them. I am too old to play paintball. That's a run, jump, slide, crawl around in the mud, That's a harsh game. When the weather breaks and I have a little bit of time, LS. No, I just never turned the camera back on. Sorry. I wasn't paying any attention. My bad. I was looking at the chat box. Oh yeah, it's coming up on the 2-hour mark. I'm gonna get off here too, I guess. If I thought my knees would let me play the way I like to play, I would still be playing. I don't mind the bruises. I don't mind them. That's people. I see people playing airsoft and they're wearing heavy coats. Ooh, those hurt. No, those do not hurt, dude. Every time you get hit with a paintball, you score a bruise. The end. If you get hit close, I shot this one guy, man. I ain't lying. I shot him in the same place on the neck. Shot him, took him out in one match. The match ended, started another one, and then it was probably 35 minutes after I shot him the first time. I didn't realize it was the same guy. I saw a head pop up. I shot, boom, about a quarter of an inch off center. Shot him in the same place on the neck. I was aiming for the shoulder, but anyway. He troopered up. He didn't play the next round, though. I don't allow skin to show. I'll give you all that. I do, like, I wear a scarf on my neck when I play, or played. I don't play without gloves. I'm not a wimp. I don't play with the ribbed gloves, which is prudent. I mean, putting the ribbed gloves on, the ones that have the rubber risers on the back, it actually makes sense to play with those. It disperses the deal. I've had this finger broken and this finger broken playing paintball. Flipping hurts. But you come around a corner and you try to get somebody to tap out and they spin around and start shooting at you. I mean, y'all are shooting at each other, and then it's an argument over who gets out, who shot who first. But when somebody walks up to you and taps you, you're just supposed to give up. You don't have, but half the time they'll spin and try to get into it. I mean, you're like, you've got them dead to rights. But I'm not that guy that's just going to walk up within 5 foot of somebody and shoot him in the butt. I mean, you give them the chance to, you try to tap them out. And then if they don't let you, then you shoot them 15 or 20 times. Or until they stop shooting you. Yeah, it does. That's why the scarf. Just, it's hot and you sweat. Drink more water. I'd a whole lot rather do that and get clipped in the Adam's apple with nothing at all. I actually used to do the stuff, you tie the strings to it. You know what I'm talking about? You pull the string through and then you tie it and you make this little fluffy little deal or whatever. It's a little 1/8 inch grid plastic sheeting or whatever. Had body armor with that. Had see it on my back, see it on the front, and see it on either side. Because it hurts getting shot in the ribs. But you'd still get a bruise. But instead of a distinct you know, big old eyeball looking thing, you'd get this checkered bruise. But it wasn't as deep. It still hurt, but it wasn't as deep. Looks that way, doesn't it? Anyway, people, it is coming up on 11 o'clock. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe. I got to say that every time. I'm trying to build my channel. You want to support me? I got a Patreon channel. It's $1 a month or whatever. But the only thing I ask is that if you pledge, stick with it. Okay. If you just want to go follow me over there, that's cool too. Because the only reason I opened Patreon is so I could put stuff that YouTube was pulling down. I can show the skin in and gut and stuff over there. And I can talk about things over there that I can't talk about over here without getting demonetized. So, and if you're demonetized on here, I know that everybody's, well, so what? You get demonetized. If you get, when they demonetize your channel on YouTube, it gets blacklisted and it does not get promoted. It does not get any more views. And when you put when you're a creator and you put a video out, you put it out there to be seen. So there you go. And if there's only going to be certain people that get to see it by putting it on Patreon, I get to choose who gets to see it. So, not YouTube. The YouTube makes money off the demonetized videos. They make money off of them anyway. They go ahead and they run the ads on your videos that they demonetize. But until you have 1,000 views on that video, they don't have to pay you. Or something like that. Basically. I'm ranting now. Love y'all. Y'all still out. Don't die. See y'all Tuesday. Okay. I'm not going to ditch this Tuesday. So I'll see y'all around.